Hello, hello. Fancy meeting you here. I am walking through the streets of London and it's hashtag Health, Wealth, Life Day 70. Woo! How do the days whiz past? Karen, how are you? Good to see you. How do the days whiz past? You know, we're 70 days into this year. 70 days. Crazy, huh? What have you achieved so far? What have you learnt so far? I'm curious about what have you picked up from Health, Wealth, Life so far. So pop a comment in the box below. What's one thing that you can remember me talking about, or us talking about, having a conversation about in Health, Wealth, Life so far this year? 70 days in. 70 days in. Madness. Anyway, check out this scenery. Have you ever done one of these like carousels where you're spinning round and it looks like I'm stationary? If I do that too much, I'm going to fall over, so I won't do that too much. How are you, Mitt? Norianne, how you doing? Anyway, so what's the number one thing you've picked up so far this year? What have you learned? Pop it in the comment box below. I'm really curious and interested to know. And what's the number one thing you want to learn next? What is it you're looking at? What do you need to learn in order to progress? Maybe you're looking at a bit more happiness, maybe you're looking at a bit more health, maybe you're looking at a bit more wealth. I don't know. You tell me. Pop it in the box below. So today I want to talk about questions. Some amazing buildings around here. Have a look. And always lots of building work going on. Amazing that. Julia, how are you? Good to see you. Amazing how London's been around for like thousands of years and it's still growing, huh? We're growing. Back on the streets. Street talk. So burn body fat, increase protein. Thank you, Norianne, for your answers. That is pretty cool, and I can certainly help you with that. I'll be giving you some tips and tricks all the way through the year, 365 days. We're 70 days in, and I plan to help you out with that all the way through the year. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Keep asking questions, because questions are everything. Now, I want to talk about, you should be the quality. Here it is. The quality of your questions will determine the quality of your life. What I mean by that, so you're the pioneer of your brain. First thing in the morning, do you wake up? Do you rise and whine or rise and shine? So when you wake up in the morning, grab yourself, be the pioneer across your brain and say, hey, how much pleasure can I stand today? How much pleasure can I find today? How much pleasure can I experience today? Virginie, good to have you on board. Good to see you. Ask yourself that question in the morning. How much pleasure can I have? The quality. This is the thing. Get this, and we'll have a massive shift in everything. The quality of your questions will determine the quality of your life. Now, whatever questions you are asking your brain, whether you're making affirmations or statements, however you want to label them, you're making statements. I can't do this. This is too hard. Why is it always so hard? Why is it like this? Whether we're doing that or we're asking questions is of how can I succeed? How can I get better at this? Where should I put most of my focus to succeed in this? Basically questions lead your brain better than anything else. And we're not really taught this. Used to rise and whine, but now I rise and shine. Yeah, that's a nice little transition. So anything I say, please give me a share, give me a thumbs up, let me know I'm on track and I'm resonating with you and giving you something that makes an alarm go off or a bell ring and gives you a little tingle maybe that you think, hey, that's a good point. I'm going to apply that. Anyway, give me a thumbs up and a share. Sharing is caring. So, how do we affect the outcome of our lives, right? So ask a question. That affects your mood and your state. You affect your emotional state. You can only then go and affect your physical state. If you're not in the mood to go to the gym, if you're not in the mood to train, sometimes you'll blow it out. You won't do it. So you might ask the question, you might not feel like training, you might not feel like getting to the gym, you might not feel like going for that walk or that run, but if you say, how much fat can I burn today? How much can I progress my physical state today? That's the kind of question you want to, because then your brain will be looking for the answers to that question, rather than, I can't be bothered to train today, I don't really feel like it. What can I do to burn the most amount of fat today? And you might get the answer. You might see a Facebook Live come up like this and pick up a little question or two, or a little tip, golden tip. So how much pleasure can you stand today? How great can this day be? That's another good question. How great can this day be? How can I create more health? How can I create more wealth? All these things, good questions, right? So rather than it won't work for me, you're looking for solutions rather than things, rather than this ain't working for me. And that will never work for me. Be like, how can this succeed? How can I succeed in this? Where should I put my focus? Questions. But the quality of your questions will determine the quality of your life. You know, that's so true. That is so true. Where is it? I wanted to just say one more thing. How can I do this rather than do this? The quality of your questions will determine what your brain thinks. And what your brain thinks will determine the quality of your experience. So if it's positive, you're having a positive. If it's negative, you're having a negative. So if you can lead your brain in any way, or anyone around you can lead your brain, is through questions. Asking questions. That's why when I post a question on social media, I don't tend to start telling people what to do. I don't say do this, do that. I ask a question to try and lead the person to, one, share their personal insight rather than me putting my print on it. I try and gather information of how they're doing it. Someone says, oh, I do an amazing detox. I say, oh, what's your best tip? What's your number one tip on detoxing? Because they might give me something I don't know. I'm willing to learn. I'm wide open. But more importantly, I'm leading them to determine and have clarity around how they do it. And then they can also share how they do it with us and with all of us and have that conversation. So I'm trying to develop that conversation through questions, and we can do that with other people and we can do it with ourselves. So really important, yeah? The quality of your questions. So think about the questions that you're asking yourself from now till when you go to sleep tonight, whether it's, you know, the morning time you're watching this, or whether it's in the evening time now, wherever you are in the world, or if you've watched this as a recording. And what's the number one question you ask yourself all day? Do you find yourself saying, why is this bloody thing not working for me? Do you find yourself saying that a lot? Why is it always so hard for me? Why are things so difficult? Do that? Are they mostly your questions? Just review that. I have to be aware of that myself all the time. So review that. Tell me. Pop it in the comment box here if you want to share it. Let's have this conversation out, because we can all get involved and all learn from each other. It's about, I'm willing to be here and be vulnerable. Are you? Are you willing to be vulnerable? And then through that vulnerability, you can actually get some power, because you realize, hey, it's all right on the other side of that vulnerability, because other people can relate to it. And you can share, oh, I did this to overcome. Now you've got 4 or 5 different solutions from different minds. Let's put all our minds together. If we make the same mistake, we're being stupid by making the same mistakes. If we learn from our mistakes, that's clever. If we learn from other people's, we can speed up our progress. Absolutely. Brett, how are you, mate? All good. Looking forward to seeing you, mate. Catch up soon. So, listen, the quality of your questions will lead the quality of your life. Will determine the quality of your life. Ask yourself amazing questions. Ask yourself this question first thing tomorrow morning. How great can this day get? How great can this day be? Ask yourself those questions. I look like a bit of a nutter standing in the street when someone walks past though. But anyway, it's all for a good cause, right? We're here to share. How great can this day get? But what question will you ask yourself tomorrow morning? First thing, be the pioneer across your brain. As your brain wakes up and goes, oh, where am I? I'm in bed. All the information runs in. Fling a question in there. Be the pioneer. Say, hey, we're going this way today. How much pleasure can I experience today? How much pleasure can I experience today? How great can today be? Those are good questions in the morning, right? So anyway, we'll explore more of this as we go through the days and weeks and months of this year. We are 70 days into the year. Woo! This is starting to fly past already. And what are we going to do with this year? What amazing feats will we create and achieve? And what beautiful creations will we manifest in this year? And how are we going to do that? How are we going to do that? These are good questions. How can I up my game will be my question. Okay, so when you ask that question, Norian, when you ask that question, your brain instantly starts to look for the answers of that question, doesn't it? How can I up my game? And your brain goes, well, you could up your game by maybe go sleep earlier, maybe you could drink a little bit more water, maybe whatever it is. Maybe you need to read this book, that book. Maybe you need to look at reading 2 books a month at least, or whatever it is your focus is. So your brain will start searching for the answers to that question. So the better your questions, to other people and yourself, the more crystal clear they are, and the more you guide your questions and construct your questions around letting them lead you to the best solution, the more effective you'll be in life and for other people. So how can I up my game? Me would be like, read more, get up earlier, go to bed a bit earlier, eat specific foods that make sure I get a fantastic night's sleep. Don't disrupt my sleep, because when I'm disrupt my sleep, I lose a bit of power, lose a bit of focus. I'm all right for 2 or 3 days, but then it starts to have its impact. Anyway, that's where my brain starts going, right? So then I've got some solutions. I'm like, right, how do I get the best sleep? What's the best time to go to sleep? Then maybe I don't know that. Maybe then a Facebook Live comes up and someone's back in the house. All right, so Norian, to finish reading my books, the pile is getting bigger. Yeah, but the trick to that is just start reading. Set yourself 2 pages, 5 pages a day, whatever you want to do. Just set that and get to it. And when you get there, you'll probably find, hey, I'm enjoying this. I'm going to keep reading for another 10, 15 minutes. All right, that's what happened. I read 24 books last year, and that's what happened. That's what I set myself, and that's what I did. So you just got to get yourself there. And once you're there, you're going to start feeling, I'm enjoying this. I'm going to carry on. But the questions, that's what it's all about today. Lead yourself with the best questions, and you'll have the best quality life you could ever create for yourself. You know, don't make statements of any negativity. Instead, find the question. Being positive is also a key point to have a great day. Absolutely. Make sure your question is positively leading. Not like, if you ask a question negatively, like, why do I always come up second best? Yeah, your brain will go, well, you come up second best because, you know, you're not smart enough, and you're not good looking enough, and you're a little bit fat, or whatever, right? If you ask that question, your brain will come up with those answers. So, you know, if you want to be the best, you can be like, how can I become the best in the world at this? And then your brain will say, well, you need to dedicate amount of time, hours, blah, blah, blah. It will give you positive answers. Questions are everything. I really want to drive that home today for myself and for you. That's what I'm sharing, this insight that I've come through, that's come through to me in the last day, and I want to share it with you. So let's all start doing this, because if I can get a few of you doing it with me, then there's a group of us doing it, and there's a whole community of us doing it, and we're pulling each other up and forward, and just creating more happiness and joy. It's fantastic. All right, so I'm going to finish there today. Questions. Make sure your questions are positive leading, life affirming, and lead yourself and everyone around you with the best quality questions. And again, like anything, you can start absolutely shit at this and get better and better just by being consistent and regular with it. All right, so give me a thumbs up, give me a share. I'd really appreciate it. You let me know the information is right and bright and leading you in the right direction. And remember that we can get better at anything. Questions, training. If you can do 1/4 of a push-up, do that every day. In a 2 weeks time, you'll be doing half a push-up, so on. You get all the way there, and then you're doing 100 push-ups before you know it. And that, when you were crap at it, will seem like a long distant memory that you can just forget about. All right, I've got a course coming up where we're going to cover all these points, 7-week body transformation. If you're interested, type 7WBT. I can get a little intro videos, fun, out to you. And we're going to cover all of this. We're going to cover the mindset. We're going to keep you going for 7 weeks. Imagine getting your, have you ever yo-yo diet? Have you ever gone, do you not trust your body? Do you not trust your mind that you think, hey, I'm going to get started on this weight loss thing that I've tried 15 times, 100 times, and I've always yo-yo out of it? Well, let's take care of that. Let's get rid of that. I'm going to give you everything I got in over 7 weeks. If you're interested or you know anyone that is, share this video, share my information, give me a thumbs up, give me a share, and type 7WBT in the comment box below here. All right, I've got an event coming up, 25th and 26th of March. You're welcome to come down. It's at my new space, my gym. I'm going to do a walk through there maybe this week. If we get some good weather, I'll walk through and show you the place and introduce you to a few people. But 25th and 26th, I'm going to be presenting there, all goes well, on 2 things. So I'm going to show you something where 30 seconds a day, if you're interested in dropping weight and getting in the best shape of your life, having more vitality, sleeping better, having more brain ability in terms of focus, determination, drive. If you want all of that for doing something for 30 seconds a day, 30 seconds, not even, you could do it even quicker than that, then type TIP in the comment box below. Type tip in the comment box below. If you're interested in my 7-week body transformation course where we get rid of all those issues that always block you, let's do that. Type 7WBT there. And that's it today. That's it today. Lead yourself with the quality questions and lead everyone around you, and we can have an amazing, amazing time. Let's keep getting this better step by step, day by day. Tip, I've started doing my squats and sit-ups. Actually, do that every day. Do 1 a day. Then make it to 2, then make it to 3, blah, blah, blah. Go on. Anyway, remember guys, happy, happy, happy. Health, wealth, all of that is a skill that you can learn. And this is a better way to bring out your personal best. Let's go get some health, wealth. Let's take the world with us. I try not to get run over, but we're going to finish with a carousel. See you tomorrow.